Sugar dumpling. Just because you got a connection, don't mean the situation is right for you. Yes, I've gone there. Just because you have a connection, don't mean the situation is right for you. I clean my teeth. I'll say it again. Just because you have a connection, don't mean the situation is right for you. Yeah, sugar dumpling, I'm going in deep on this good episode of Unfiltered. And this week we're talking about connections and what that means for you. Diving in deep to the layers. If you've been following me through, you know that I'm on this whole YouTube long form because I have been invited. Can I say that? Invited to start long forms just to kind of be out there. And anyone that knows me know that I'm super authentic. By the way, how you doing, sugar dumplings that's new to this here YouTube channel? Tiik is just not editing. I'm the most authentic person you probably can meet. I like to believe so. So beautiful souls who don't know me, my name is Spiritual Tiik. I'm a holistic practitioner, energy healer, and an overall global impact creator. I could say a whole bunch of other things, but really and truly, I'm your soul sister. I got some things to say, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, like my homeboy said. He said, you know, Tiik, you the truth. I was like, I know. I just be telling people the truth. But if I don't tell you the truth or have you reflect on the truth, then sugar dumpling, how you gonna start walking in purpose? But let's get back to the topic. This is Unfiltered, as I said. That means I'm not editing. Anybody got no time for that? I'm just gonna be out here raw, authentically, the best way that I can to talk about what it is that I came to talk about, which today it is, and I must repeat, just because you got a connection, don't mean that it's right for you. Now listen, how this topic came up, because I was walking down a good old street, coming from central London today, and it just said, boom, you got to do this topic, Tiik. And I was like, do I want to do this topic? And I was like, you got to do this topic. You know why? Because so many of you beautiful souls, are on this whole journey of discovering self, what it means to be you. And this day and age, there's been a lot of information out here in these streets that can support you on whatever stage of personal development or spiritual development that you're on. But yet and still people are evolving. We're going to always evolve because we never heal. We're always healing, right? So you're always evolving. So I want you to evolve into this topic. I want you to evolve into the idea of just because you have a connection, don't mean the situation's right for you. So let me start off with relationships. Because this is one of the biggest areas that I see people go, but Tiik, it feels so right. There's things that just, I've never had it before. Well, let's roll it back. Sugar dumpling, when you have a connection with someone, doesn't necessarily mean that you're meant to be in this long lasting relationship. They could have come to teach you a thing or two. And if you think about life is just that. It's a bag full of experiences. Or like Forrest Gump said, life's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get because you don't. You don't. The universe is a comedian because you start flicking things out there saying, I don't want this, I need this, and then you'd be like, bing, but then your emotions don't align, law of attraction. So then you get the things that you say you don't want. And then you're back at square one. So connection, what does it actually even mean? Like, we need to strip that back. And actually, how did you decide that it was the best connection? Because you've never experienced it before. Just because you've never experienced something before don't necessarily mean the situation that you're in, I'm talking about relationships, is the right situation for you. I talk about relationship work with so many different vessels. Now look, I'm on relationships right now, but you can equate this topic to anything. And the topic is, again, just because you have a connection don't mean it's right for you, okay? Why I want you to take a deeper reflection is because a lot of vessels are creating belief systems that are harmful for them. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. No one sees me. No one loves me. And they're making these decisions based on their connections. And sometimes these connections that they get into, they'll say, yeah, but it just feels right, Tiik. Okay. Because maybe you've experienced something else with these beautiful souls. Now, I'm a firm believer in other lifetimes. I know some of y'all may not believe in that. That's your business, but I got mine. Okay? And I believe in that. that you might have experienced something. Your soul is forever evolving. So therefore, sometimes I believe that there's this residue, right? Things that you may have happen in another place or time, another lifetime, and then you find people and it feels familiar. It feels good. Okay, maybe there were some lessons that you didn't complete. I just want you to let it land and just think about it, okay? What I'm saying though, let's get back to the physical. Let's get into the physical. Let me come away from the whole spiritual kumbaya. Nah. Let's come into the reality. A lot of people that I work with, a lot of people that I converse with, a lot of people that I speak to about where they are or what it is that they want to attract, especially when it comes to the dynamic of relationships, usually go down this tangent. It comes back to this baseline of a connection. Either they're seeking some sort of connection, okay, that they've defined need to look like A, B, C, D, and E, or they feel like they're in that connection and they can't let it go because they have those strings attached. But what I want you to reflect on is the whole topic of the segment. Just because you have a connection doesn't mean it's right for you. That means is you got to first discover what is right for you. Now let that land. Because some of you don't even know because you never ask yourself what you need. And I rant on about that all the time. And sometimes it makes people cry because they're like, wow, no one's even ever asked me that. Or no, I had never had time to even think about it. So actually, when you decide that this is a connection, and this connection is something you never felt before, my question is, what are you actually basing it on? Are you basing it on your trauma? Now listen, I'm saying these things to you. I want you to reflect because just because you have a connection doesn't mean it's right for you. If you have based your connection on the traumas that you had and an individual or a situation makes you feel good because actually it's the opposite of what you experienced before, so you go with it and you latch onto it because you go, this feels good for me because I've never had this thing. Listen, I'm saying that might be a beautiful feeling, but it doesn't mean that thing isn't complicated too. So really what this is about deeper reflection. It's about getting clear with what it is that you truly need. I always come back to the needs because as I just said, some of you don't even know what you need. But just because you got that connection don't mean it's right for you. So how do I decide if it's right for me then, Tiik? Because that's the only thing I have is my lived experience. Yeah, I get it. But sometimes we got to dissect our lived experience and ask ourselves, are we happy with every aspect of that? Right? So for some of you that have experienced some traumas, unfortunately, your lived experience or your thought patterns, your belief system is going to be surrounded around that, right? Because you're like, of course it is, Tiik, we're learning. Yeah, but you learn from everything. You learn from what you've exposed to in the family dynamic. You learn from what you've been exposed to in an environment, society, communities. You learn from what you expanded with in or connected with in work and education settings, etc. The list goes on. We learn things, right? And you decide on whether or not you're going to keep that in your frequency or not. So when you begin to establish a connection that's new, okay, unfamiliar to what you're used to, my battery said close. I need to stop playing because I'm still recording. Unfamiliar to what you're used to, what I want you to do is I want you to reflect on that, okay? Because some of y'all in lasting situations that are toxic, some of y'all in lasting situations because you don't think that there could be another situation for you because of the connection that you have said is you never felt this before. Some of y'all hold yourself stagnant because you fear that if you let it go, that you won't get something else new, but you're not making space and time for anything new come. Some of y'all are so embedded that you sort of lose yourself because you have put another in the forefront of you. Now, I know I'm talking to somebody today. I know it's gonna land. And if it's not landing with you, that's okay. I'll see you another time or not. What I'm saying, sugar dumplings, I want you to reflect. Think about the connection. And look, I'm spiritual Tiik. I got 6 planets in my relationship house. I got connections. I got loads of connect. I go deep in 5 seconds, okay? I'm not saying that those things don't exist. I want you to look at it from a healthy perspective, though. I want you to make sure that when you are having this connection, that you're actually still looking to put yourself first, that you're finding balance in those connections, that you are reflecting on what sort of belief system's been created in that connection. And yes, I've been heavy on the relationship side, right? I want you to know that it's okay for you to put yourself first in a dynamic. I had a beautiful soul say to me, but in a relationship, you gotta compromise, Tiik. I said, do you? What you compromise? And I know it's a lot of people try to argue me down, but listen, I work with energy. If you're compromising to a situation to where you're losing yourself, then I don't know about that compromisation. Do you understand? If you're going to find balance in your connection with another soul, then it's just that. It's finding that balance. It's looking at your likes, dislikes, looking at their likes, their dislikes, and then you come to some sort of agreement, alignment, but you don't lose yourself. Because some people, they'll be like, they made me. No one can make you do anything. It's either you've accepted, you made a choice to accept something as it is. And I know that might be hurtful to hear for some, but it's the truth. You have a choice, okay? So your connection, just because you have a connection, don't mean it's always good for you. I want you to think about that. I want you to run that in your mind. When you say that you can't move on for something that may not be healthy for you because you got a connection. In this energy game, we have connections. When you expand your mind and you remember, become hypersensitive to feeling, all you empaths out there, you can have a connection. But you also got to expand your mind to the knowing of, well, what's going on in this connection? Because I can guarantee that just like in the space in the room that I'm recording in, there's 1,000 things happening on right now, right? The lights beaming on my face. I'm recording on the phone. I got some sounds over there happening that's real low. Y'all probably can't hear in the background. I'm thinking, I'm hungry. I need to do that. Look, there's frequencies that's happening. I'm connected to a multitude of things. So when you have a connection to an individual, or you had a connection to a situation and it brings you energy, emotion, I want you to reflect on, well, what are the healthy traits of this connection? And if it's good, green, keep moving. If it's not good and you are in a predicament where you've lost yourself, you got limiting beliefs that you're not good enough, you're not being seen, you're not being heard, you're not loved, you can't achieve. If you leave this dynamic, nothing's going to be successful. If all of these things arrive, or some of them, or one of them, all I want you to do is to reflect. See, we're entering the frequency, or we're in the frequency, actually by the time you guys get this, of the new moon. And so in that energy of the new moon, what I want you guys to do is I want you to make the time for yourself. I want you to make the time for yourself, and I actually want you to think about all the powerful connections. Look, you can look at all the connections you want to, but I want you to sit down and name 3 powerful connections you're like, yep, it just feel right, Tiik. I want you to look at all 3 of them, and I want you to dissect it. I want you to look at yourself. Where do you fall in line in that connection? How do you show up for yourself in that connection? Are you seen in that connection? Are you loved in that connection? Do you feel elevated in that connection? Do you feel like communication is strong in that connection? Right? So relationships can be intimate relationship, family relationship, work relationship, friend relationship. But the area of relationship is potent for people. Some people stay in toxic friendships because they're like, but I love them. We got a connection. But that don't mean it's good for you, right? I'm whispering in your ear, sugar dumpling, because I want you to reflect. I want you to dive deeper. So you got some source work. 3 beautiful souls that you have a connection with, and you're going to look at how you roll in those situations. Who are you? Are you seen? Are you loved? Are you held? Are you felt? Are you appreciated? Do you get to communicate? What do you look like? And all I want you to do is ask yourself, is this healthy for me? And if it's healthy for you, cool, build. If it's not healthy for you, cool, build, but in a different way. and start acknowledging what it is that you need so you can have that conversation with that beautiful soul and whatever relationship dynamic it was. And if you realize that actually you start identifying things with what you need and it's not going in the direction that you feel is best for you or that individual, then maybe you got to make some decisions. See, as we move from the next moment and the next frequency, know that you have the ability to make a choice, to make a decision. The energy don't lie. If you continue to attract the same thing, guess what? You're going to get the same result. So your connection, just because you got one, don't mean it's good for you. And I want that to be the reflection. Think about it. Reflect on it. Analyze it. And then identify what you need. Have the conversations and make a choice for your overall well-being. That's it. I done ranted and raved. I love y'all. Have a beautiful, amazing, blessed day. Don't take it personal. Just go a little within so you can expand that beautiful light that you got inside of that vessel. Take care, y'all. Until next week, your girl Tiik. I'm out.